Hi guys, today's notes is 1-3 solving equations. Your objective for today is that you'll be able to solve equations using the distributive property. Okay, so here's example 1, solve the following equation. Here, when we have an equation, I look at the equal sign and then I just divide my equation into the left side of the equation and the right side of the equation. And then I work with each piece individually until it's completely simplified. So if I look at the left side, negative 16 plus 5n, I can't really do anything there. There's nothing to simplify. I can't combine like terms. There's no distributive property or anything like that. So I move on to the right side and I can't do anything there, so I'll just bring this down. For the right side, I do have the distributive property, which I'm going to go ahead and do first. So I'm going to distribute the negative 7 in here. That would give us a positive 42 minus 56n plus 3. Okay, after that, I still have more that I could simplify here. So 42 and 3, we'll combine those together and that'll give us a positive 45. Okay, negative 16 and plus 5n on the other side. Okay, now from here, the left side is as simplified as possible, and so is the right side, as simplified as possible, nothing we can combine there. So now it's just a matter of getting the variable on the same side. I have 5 n's here and negative 56 n's on the right side, so I'm gonna go ahead and add 56n on both sides so that my variable stays positive, and then I'll also go ahead and add the 16 to get rid of it on the left. So here I'll get rid of the constant, here I'll get rid of the variable, and we'll have 61n on the left is equal to 61 on the right. And then we just go ahead and divide by 61, and that means n is equal to 1. And then that would be your answer. You can, of course, plug this in, plug n into both ends here, both the variables here, and make sure that the left side equals the right side. Okay, another example here, I'm going to do the same thing. So I find my equal sign, I go ahead and draw a line there. I'll do it smarter this time. There we go, nice and straight. The left side, negative 11 plus 10 times p plus 10. I can simplify this, so I'm gonna distribute 10p plus 100, and then negative 11 plus that is equal to, same thing here, negative 5/4. I'm going to take the whole thing and distribute. If you don't know how to multiply with fractions, negative 5/2, do not turn it into a decimal. Never, ever, ever turn it into a decimal. Keep it as an improper fraction. So negative 5/2 times 2. So this 2 is basically a 2 over 1, and you multiply straight across. With fractions, you multiply straight across. So negative 5 times 2 is negative 10, 2 times 1 is 2, and that is just negative 5. Okay, and that's simpler than turning it into a decimal and doing all of that noise. So 4, negative 5/2 times 2p is going to be negative 5p. And then I'm going to do the same thing with the negative 5/2 times 12. So with the 12, we're going to put that over 1, multiply straight across, negative 60 divided by 2, and that's really just negative 30. Okay, so then this would be minus 30. Okay. Now from here, we can combine here as well, negative 11 and 100. So that'll be 10p plus 89 is equal to, and here we can combine the 4 and the negative 30, negative 5p minus 26. All right, we can't combine anything here or here, so now we're going to get the variable on the same side. So Okay, so get rid of the 5p here, get rid of the 89 here. We'll have 15p is equal to negative 115. 15, yeah. And then go ahead and divide by 15. And again, please do not turn this into a decimal. You're going to reduce the fraction. So negative 115 and 15, the least common denominator is 5. We're going to go ahead and divide both of those by 5. Negative 115 divided by 5 is negative 23. And 15 divided by 5 is 3. So p is equal to negative 23 thirds. Okay. Next one is literal equations. So for literal equations, I have a strategy here. You do not have to use it. Do not feel like you have to do it the same exact way that I do. If you have another way, that is completely fine. Just make sure your way also works. So if you are getting consistently the same answer as me, feel free to do it the same way that you do it. But if you have no idea, then use this strategy. So right here we have a literal equation. Literal equation is where you have many variables that could be used to solve for the equation. Right now it's solved for b. B is by itself, so this equation is solved for b. What we want to do is solve for y. So we're trying to get y by itself. Here is what I do. I look at y and I look at everything that is happening to y. So the very first thing that's happening to y right here is it's being added to x. So I'm going to put right here, add x. This is the do column. So first I'm adding x. After I add x to y, then the very next thing is I'm dividing by z. Okay? After I add x and divide by z, next I'm subtracting a. So that's what is happening to y on this side. Don't worry about the other side of b. Now what we're going to do is we're going to write the undo column, which means we're going to look at this backwards. So subtract a, and we're going to do the opposite, the inverse. So if I subtract a, the opposite of that, or the inverse of that, is to add a. And we're going to add a to both sides. So right here, we're going to add a to both sides. If I add a here, adding a and subtracting a are opposites. So you have b plus a or a plus b, the order isn't going to matter when you're adding, is equal to x plus y over z. So that is one step closer to getting y by itself. The next thing is the divide by z. So the inverse of dividing by z is going to be to multiply by z. So now we're going to multiply both sides by z. So if I multiply the left side by z, this z and this z cancel out, and we have x plus y is equal to, and then on the right side, we need to multiply the entire right side by z. So make sure that you do use parentheses. And I'm going to go ahead and reorder it because I like alphabetical order. All right, last thing here is we are adding x, so the inverse of that would be to subtract x. So now we can go ahead and subtract x from both sides. Now this is already being multiplied, so I'm not going to subtract x until the very end. That gets rid of it there. Y is equal to z times a plus b minus x. And there we have y by itself. So this equation is solved for y. Okay, we'll do another one. Last one. Here we have the formula for the area of a trapezoid. So a is equal to 1/2 times h times parentheses b1 plus b2. We want to solve the formula for b2. So what are we doing to b2? The first thing we're doing is we're adding it to b1. After that, we're multiplying by h. So we're multiplying by h, and then we're multiplying it by 1/2. The opposite of multiplying by 1/2 is, the same thing as multiplying by 1/2 is dividing by 2. So dividing by 2 and multiplying by 1/2 is the same thing. So that's what I'm going to write. Now to undo these, remember it's these in the opposite order. So to undo dividing by 2, we're going to multiply by 2. So if I have A is equal to 1/2 H times B1 plus B2, we're going to go ahead and multiply both sides by 2. If I multiply this side by 2, I get 2A. If I multiply the right side by 2, don't distribute it inside the parentheses, it's already here, so it just cancels out. It's just going to cancel out from your from the side you're trying to get rid of. Next is multiplying by H, opposite of that, inverse of that, divide by H. So we're going to divide both sides by H. If I divide this side by H, that's what I get. If I divide this side by H, really just the H cancels out. And you have B1 plus B2 left. And then last thing to undo is adding the B1, subtract B1 is the inverse. So if I subtract B1 from both sides, and again, I'm going to do it at the very end there. So B2 would equal 2A divided by H minus B1 at the end, and B2 is by itself. So that is how we solve literal equations, and those are your notes for today. Be ready with questions tomorrow. If you have